Hey there, welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Vanessa. Vanessa says, I love the Little School of Big Change and all of your videos. My question is, how do you stop caring so much what people think, especially in the workplace when you feel that their thoughts may have direct impact on your work environment? And in general, how do you brush off what people's perceptions are of you and stop overthinking? Oh, easy question. Not really. Okay, Vanessa. So I don't know how we can stop caring about anything. You know, it's interesting to even look at how we get that question, like how that's what our mind spits out. Like, how do I stop caring what other people think? I mean, it's super normal, very common question. But no one knows how to stop thinking anything because we don't know how we think to begin with. We aren't thinking and making all of this happen on our own. Thoughts just showing up. It just is doing whatever it's doing. So I don't know any way to stop yourself from thinking or feeling any certain way. There's no switch where we can turn it off. But here's what I do know about this, or what I think I know, is that this stuff, like I care what other people think of me, for example, what is that really? Like, it has this sense of reality and heaviness and like a problem, right? We feel it like this is a problem. And then there's all kinds of adjacent thoughts that come in that also seem to be around caring what people think of you. And all of this becomes this big, heavy thing. But what is the thing? If we really stop and look at that. So in other words, when it's out here somewhere, it's like, oh yeah, people say things like this all the time. I care what people think of me, or I'm sensitive, or I'm afraid of rejection, or whatever. But it's so huge for us to really look at that, pull it closer and look at it and say, what does that even mean? What are the pieces of that? If it has pieces, what's happening here right now in reality, in this moment, not what happened in memory or what happened at work last week, but what is here when you're feeling that feeling? What is here right now in this moment, in that feeling, that leads you to think, I care what people think of me, or to get caught up in that, and to just look at that. There's some feelings that you can feel. There's some energy maybe. I don't know what or where that will be. It isn't really a what or where, but there can be some sensation around that. So maybe you are kind of feeling what's happening physically. Oh, like I thought I saw them talking about me. I care what they think of me. Maybe you get tight, or you get heavy, or there's some energy moving. Go right into those sensations. Just feel that. Feel what's there when this experience of I care what people think of me is present. What's there, and feel right into those sensations. The more we can just lean our way into that and just feel what's there, it's huge, because it actually starts to feel like relief, because we've been so caught up in this thing that looks and feels so real. But it's like, okay, I don't have to push that away. I don't have to do anything with this. I can lean right in and feel the energy of caring what people think of me. Then you're likely to also notice some beliefs and some assumptions. There's a ton of them in here, and you don't have to like excavate all of this stuff. And it's not about getting really into thought and picking it all apart or anything, but to really just be curious about the experience itself. Say you're sitting there, and again, if you feel the physical feeling and your mind is saying, what are they thinking of me? And this could impact my work. It could impact my work environment. Look at the thoughts that are happening there. Watch how your mind is talking, because it's not reality. It's not that people are over here having a conversation that has you feeling the way you do. It's your mind's having a conversation. And there's a lot of assumptions in that is so huge for us to actually pull closer and look at. Otherwise, again, they stay out there somewhere and they just feel true. That's where we kind of walk around. We're like, yeah, that's just my issue. I care what people think. But what does that even mean? So really look at it. Really pick it apart like a scientist and be super curious and see, what does this even mean? So with the beliefs and the assumptions, and you said, how do I care what they stop thinking, especially in the workplace when you feel that their thoughts may have direct impact on your work environment? I don't know what that means exactly to you, but there's something in there. So look at that. What are the assumptions that are coming to life as thought that are feeling absolutely solid? that something bad is going to happen, that notice how your mind talks about that, the pictures it creates. What happens? Does your mind paint a picture of you being rejected at work and then losing your job? Like really just get so curious. How do you know that you're thinking that what their opinions might impact your work environment? It's a really weird question. Like, how do I know that I think this? Well, I don't know. How do we know that we think anything? Like, look and see. Are there pictures? Are there sounds? Are there memories? Like, what's coming up to give this experience? This is how I think, again, we have no switch. We can't turn thoughts and feelings and opinions and judgments and any of that on or off as far as I can see. But when this stuff arises, it's amazing to just dive right into it and kind of look for the pieces. Ooh, what's felt? What's seen? What's heard? What's thought? That's how we stop being duped by this illusion, in a sense. Not really an illusion, but it's a very real illusion. But how we kind of pull the curtain back. There's the Oz back there pulling all the levers, giving this full-on experience of, oh no, work's going to go downhill because people think whatever about you. This is how we pull that curtain back. And we're like, what? What does that mean? And what does it look like? And what's actually going into this creative experience that's showing up? I think this is it. I think this is it. We feel the energy. We look at what's there and we keep pulling it closer rather than pushing it off. And we just start seeing, wow, look how that thought showed up. And look at this belief. And look at how my stomach dropped when they gave me that look. And you start to get more and more on to the creative nature of all of this. And just more curious about the whole thing. And it starts to look pretty obvious before long, like, oh, this is happening all the time, and it's happening here. This is not about other people's opinions. It's not about what they say. It's not about what you think they think or what you think they say. It's all just an in-the-moment, in real-time experience playing out for you, all of it, including the other people and their role and the implications and all of those assumptions. So get super curious, be like a mad scientist and muck around in this a little bit and see what you find. Thank you for sending your question. It's a great question. So send your questions to askamy@thelittleschoolofbigchange.com, and I'll see you back here next Monday. Bye, everyone.